During the pandemic, of course, there's lots of restrictions, and now I've just re-entered to actually capture the city again. And you know, as you were explaining earlier about the importance of Chongqing to the international audience, hardly anyone knows about this mega city.
Yeah.
You know, it's a monster. And we nickname it the 0 kilometer city because it's the starting of the Belt Road Initiative. So I'm here to capture it with my lens, with my team, and do some collaborations to show the world this is the next up and coming city.
Iris, bear with us for 1 second because I want to quickly follow up with you on that, Alex, in terms of why do you think, you know, this is a 30 million plus city? You're from Canada. I mean, this population is on par with Canada. What does it need to do to raise its international profile?
Well, you know, it's interesting that you use that figure of 30 million plus. That's what actually attracted me to this city. My wife said one Christmas Eve, you know what? Let's go to one of the cities about as large as Canada's population. I said, let's try it. Coming here and understanding that, you know, you have to look back at the history of this city to understand that it's going through an evolution on its own, even within China. And is now discovered by China and its domestic markets. It's one of the most traveled cities in China. So now taking that and trying to portray that to the international audience, I think that responsibility has been put on me. So we're going to see over the next little while how well I do.
Alex, I mean, you're very quotable, I feel. You've called this city, you've called it a Jenga city. And I think one of my favorite ones was, if I remember correctly, is you've called, first of all, you've also called it the most exciting city on earth. And then you say Chongqing makes New York City look like a side order of shrimp cocktail or a side order of French fries. I mean, maybe expand on that for us.
You know, I want to say that what really drives this city on my first impressions is the unity. The unity of the people, the colleagues that I'm working with right now at iChongqing. The way they greeted me into this city, they said, listen, this is a canvas, show it to the world. It's not hard to show a city that has 14,000 bridges. 14,000. It's got the hardware, that's for sure. The software, we'll call it, is coming. You have, like I said, remarkable dual carriage bridges. You have the largest monorail line in the world. You have, I think it's, not quote me on this, but I think it's 13 of 20 Guinness Book World Record bridges.
Wow.
You got 4 types of bridges that come into this city. Not only that is the airport infrastructure. The roads, when people tell me, oh, I'm sitting in traffic in Chongqing, they obviously haven't been to, you know, cities in Malaysia or in cities in Thailand where getting across the bridge could be a couple of hours. Here, it's, you know, quite interesting. So using that format of plugging the city in and making it accessible for all people, it turns it into kind of like an 8-dimensional city. And what I mean by an 8D city is underground. There's a lot of activity going on here that we're not aware of.
Okay, expand on that.
Subways and infrastructures, and you know the way that we're running networks. You know, this is really important, and we have shown that in some of the videos. We have worked with the local transportation companies to bring us into it and explain how complex it is. There's a city underneath this city.
Wow.
And everyone says to me, why isn't there anyone in your videos? Well, they're either underground or they're working. So.
Wow, that is absolutely amazing.
Our latest video, which I collaborated with iChongqing, it's gone viral last week again. We did, you know, the ladies and the great gentleman that I work with said, Alex, you can't just show that building. We have to go a little bit more into detail. And I said, explain. They said, well, we have to go into a 3D model. I said, how are we going to do that? So we actually got help. We met with the CRT and went over the building, talked about it. In our latest video, we show in a 3-dimensional pattern that this building was designed, the building and the monorail at the same time, built at the same time. I'm not sure they planned it to be, you know, one of the most photographed monorails in the world, but it shows that, once again, anything is possible here in Chongqing. And running a monorail through a building, no problem.
Not a problem, Now,
I have a great team that's working with me on these videos, and I'm going to boldly say we're going to try to target, I would say, About 50 videos here in the next few years.
50 videos
Yeah.
in the next few years. So there's a lot of stories to tell, right? Because we're trying to talk about how do we, tell Chongqing's story better to the world, because the city has a lot to offer. Is there a sense, is there a train of thought in terms of where you're going to go with these videos?
Yeah, I mean, Stephen explained a lot of things about business. This city is a blueprint going forward. You have to pay attention to what's going on in Chongqing now.
Okay.
The infrastructure is here, the grids are here, the power grids are here, the trains are here, the train to Europe, the Belt Road Initiative, it's here.
Yeah.
Something that many people don't mention is the cost of running a business here is much less than it would if you're running something in Shanghai or Shenzhen. This is a city that is at the starting point. It's like no one's talking about it yet. You get in here early, you establish yourself. Like I said, the hardware is ready to go here. You bring the companies, you bring the software, you bring the intelligence into it. You are way ahead of everyone because this city is connected pretty much right across to the end of Europe, where we were speaking about that earlier in the Belt Road Initiative. When you're seeing hundreds of thousands of laptops, I'll call it leaving the 0-kilometer train range here, heading towards Europe. We're talking about things that are very important. We've got battery power technology. That's stuff that you don't want to put on an airplane.
Yeah.
You want to put it on a train. Well, guess what? It's here. So if you had a city of 100 things that needed to be checked off, Chongqing is way ahead of everyone else. And why I continue to go on and on and on about infrastructure is it impacts everyone's life. If you're taking a rail transit in your country, how much, or is that been pushed to the private sector in other Western countries? Has your cost of living gone up because of your getting to work is more money? Do you want to visit your family? Well, in my country, we have 8,000 kilometers from end to end. To visit someone, you have two choices. Get into a car for a long car ride or get in the air. Train, can you imagine this? Canada has one single rail track going across the whole country.
8,000 kilometers.
So and we don't have a passenger rail service. That's
I didn't know that. So if you want to get from Toronto to, say, Vancouver, there's that one rail line.
There's, if you're shipping cargo, yes, passenger rail. It's not considered a passenger rail. It's more of a touristic thing.
I see.
And it's into the thousands of dollars to do it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be about 9,000 kilometers plus of rail in the Chengdu-Chongqing economic circle within the next 5 years. So just in this area alone, there's going to be 9,000 kilometers plus.
China lays more rail than what Canada has in 1 year.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting to know.
Now let's look at some of these cities that have emerged over the last 20 or 30 years in China from outside investments from the United Kingdom, from United States. There used to be this fear when you come to China that, oh, it's the unknown. How am I going to open up? How am I going to start a company? Okay, a Canadian comes to the city and in the matter of a month or two, starts using technology to get around. Okay, it might not sound like a big deal, but I have no problems getting my groceries, ordering my food, getting taxis, finding hotels, answering to all my colleagues. And to advance even more today, I used some new technology that helped me with the language. It was the first time I've ever used it, and it was brilliant. So all sectors in the world over the last 20 years, whether it's music, photos, travel, have all been, we'll say, compromised by new technology. And that is evolving here. This, again, the city has the hardware for it. The software, once it gets plugged in, as you were explaining earlier about starting a company, these are very hard things to do in other parts of the world. Now, sure, you can open up a company, but what if you're trying to open up a manufacturing, let's say somewhere in Canada? You need to get goods from this port to that port, that's 8,000 kilometers. There's different taxes throughout there. There's so many things against you. So that's why I'm saying both countries or both, whether it's the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, if it works together within China, both can succeed with their dreams right now. And that's where I think we're going to move forward with this city, it's ready. And it's about to be discovered, not quite yet, but we're getting there.
Alex, which part of Canada are you from?
Originally West Coast, born in central Canada.
Central Canada.
Yeah, we'll call it the Siberian part of Canada.
The Siberian should be the north, right?
You know, well,
Yukon territory.
There's not much out there where I was born. So,
okay.
Yeah. You made a good point, and Stephen as well, as legacy companies that evolve and use technology. I mean, there are so many of these companies around the world, and especially in the United Kingdom. I totally understand your point about having the know-it-all and how to build these products, and bringing a legacy product to the market. It's the same within what I'm doing, except I'm in, we'll call it new media.
Yeah.
I believe that instead of making films that can be forgotten, we try to make a legacy type of film, and it's with that to not only educate people that they understand the challenges of the city or the challenges of China, but as I was saying when I first got here, so many businesses have changed. I mean, my mother today is going to be able to watch this on CGTN, okay? And she's going to be up very early watching it. And it's very helpful for content creators like myself when a company like iChongqing reached out to me and says, hey, we like your videos. Let's make some great videos together. And that synergy can be used in all types of businesses around the world with China. So many people can benefit from that. And we're at a really pinnacle point of history here. I really feel that.
So in terms of combining the media element with technology, with the growth potential of this city, right? So a lot of stuff to do.
I've been watching your guys' production. Have you seen it over the last week here? You guys have been everywhere.
We've been
remotely.
everywhere.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
Do you know any other medias in the world that actually show a city like that in a week? I've never seen it.
Alex, what do you think about the pace? I mean, you've only lived here for a while.
Yeah, I think it's. I visited many cities in this world. Okay, and this one is. It is what you make it. And if you want to go full on here, no problem going full on. It's a city that you relatively feel very safe in. How many cities of this size? Do you walk down the street, downtown, no problem? Chongqing. Okay. The other thing I was going to mention is many things have changed around this area in the last 10 years. I mean, how long was the commute to Chengdu before?
4 hours, more than
4 hours.
And now?
Driving, it's just probably
1 hour.
Yeah,
1 hour.
Yes,
Once
1
again,
hour.
life-changing things. 4 hours to visit maybe a relative, now 1 hour. Oh, meet you halfway for tea. 30 minutes, right? Where else can you do that in the world, okay? But, the city of Chongqing, I mean, it continues to expand. So you're talking about the international, there's a lot of major brands that are here now. Every time I'm going around another corner, I'm seeing another, either whether it's a hotel chain or an international company coming here. You got the fantastic Jialing and Yangtze River cruises at night. I'm sure.
Definitely do that. For anybody who come to Chongqing, not just a hot pot, do that.
So there are lots of things to do here. And that's what I plan on showing in the next couple of years. I'm excited for it.
I mean, that river cruise at night, the LED light show, right? The cityscape just really blazes up. So I've tried it. I've tried it, and it's just gorgeous. I mean, Chongqing at night is especially gorgeous, I feel.
I'm going to have to try that next video.
Yeah, next video. Definitely do that river cruise. We're a little bit short on time, but if there's one piece of, I wouldn't say advice, but to leave our audience with one final comment about Chongqing, what do you think that would be? Alex, one final thought.
Don't underestimate.
Don't underestimate.
It's a line in one of my last videos, but don't underestimate the determination of the Chongqing people. And that's something that every morning I wake up here, I feel that.
I don't think we can underestimate that based on the engineering marvel that we see in this city. And like you mentioned, the quickest train, 1 hour, 2 minutes to get from Chongqing to Chengdu. And there are 100 of them, 100 plus of them in one day. In this economic circle, there's 96 million people.
Life-changing.
It's insane. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us on our Rising Star Cities Roundtable series.